Welcome back to the Snug, where we look at the second in this series of questions that are kind of stitched together by Jesus, which help us face one of the most common daily experiences that folks like you and me encounter. Now, today's question needs to be set into a context. So I want to encourage you, particularly this morning, would you let all of Jesus' words here, as I read them, do their work in your heart and mind? In fact, could I encourage you to let these words in intentionally? Like right now, could you intentionally open your heart and your mind and let faith and perspective rise and then settle like a beautiful dew in the early morning as Jesus says these words to us? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? As we began to see with yesterday's question, the context here is everyday focus, everyday priorities, and everyday worries. And in his inimitable way, Jesus sets an everyday natural scene familiar to all his listeners to give us all a rock-solid perspective. Look at the birds of the air. It's something we all do. I bet you've done it this morning if you've been up and about. 60 years ago, the robin was declared as Britain's national bird. You Americans get an eagle, we get a robin. And by the way, for my American viewers, the British robin is around the size of a sparrow, very different to the North American variety. But it is one of the first birds to sing in the morning and often one of the last ones to sing at night. Often in our garden or backyard when Jill or I are working, a robin or two will stay very close, less than 2 meters away, and I love those interactions. They somehow etch themselves positively into that day's memories. Some time back, a friend's sister who has a unique way with animals saved a robin's life. Its nest had been destroyed by a cat and all its siblings killed. A neighbor brought her the surviving bird that evening to see if she could help. And she stayed up most of that night caring for the bird, and amazingly it did survive. In the morning, she was able to locate its original territory. The mum robin recognized her chick's call immediately and was there straight away to welcome it back. The dad followed not long after. Are you not much more valuable than they? As we look afresh today through the eyes of Jesus, we will find ourselves watching birds in flight, watching birds feed from the hedgerows, the fruit trees, the insects in the air, maybe even watching them feed from food we've laid out in our gardens or yards. Let's remember, they are carefree about provision. They don't plan and store, they don't sow or reap, and yet your heavenly Father, my heavenly Father, feeds them, says Jesus. Let's allow those tender, encouraging, faith-building, worry-dampening words of Jesus to fill our hearts and minds. And let's reflect on those words every time we view a day or view a bird today. Are you not more valuable than they? Enjoy your bird watching today. See you tomorrow.